An electrifying first draft pick, a jaw-dropping 4-year deal worth $44.2 million, and the spotlight as the newest sensation in one of the world's most electrifying sports. The curious case of Zion Williamson has left NBA fans scratching their heads. But don't worry, we're here to break it all down for you. With his incredible acrobatics, jaw-dropping athleticism, and unique build, Zion Williamson has been turning heads since his high school days in South Carolina. Standing tall at 6'6" and weighing in at 285 pounds, this 5-star phenom from Spartanburg was ranked as the number 2 prospect in the class of 2018 by ESPN, just behind R.J. Barrett. Zion chose Duke and quickly became the favorite to go number 1 in the NBA draft after an electrifying freshman year. In just one season at Duke, Zion played 33 games, averaging an insane 22.6 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks per game. Plus, he was shooting a crazy 68% from the field. Then it came the NBA, where Zion was picked first overall by the New Orleans Pelicans in the 2019 draft. He hit the league like a storm, instantly becoming a superstar and averaging over 25 points per game in his first 2 seasons. It looked like he was ready to live up to all that massive hype. Even playing with Williamson is a whole different ballgame. He's like a flying brick, a 6'6" playmaker who rarely shoots jumpers but plows through and soars over defenders with ease. He throws down thunderous dunks, has a feathery touch, and doesn't fit into any traditional position. In recent years, NBA coaches have been instructing players to set ball screens higher, sometimes even close to half court, to stretch the defense and give ball handlers more space. But when Zion has the ball, it's a different story. You'll often see teammates like Larry Nance Jr. or Jonas Valanciunas setting screens around the free throw line or even in the paint. This isn't because they've been watching old school instructional videos, it's because opponents tend to back off Zion and go under against his pick and rolls. Williamson is unlike most stars. Defenses know he's going to charge the basket and finish with his left hand, but they still can't stop him. This season, he's averaging a whopping 17.1 points in the paint, with 91% of his field goal attempts coming from the restricted area, numbers that put him on par with legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Zion's dominance in the paint comes from his unique combination of size and agility. With his enormous frame, he charges down the lane, making defenders brace for contact, which often leads to poor defensive techniques. When defenders play with their chest and hands up, Zion can typically bounce off them and create space. Teams try to counter this by matching their centers against him, but Zion's explosive first step allows him to drive right past these bigger bodies. As he gets to the basket, help defenders often hesitate to square up with him. Sometimes, defenders try to contest him vertically, but Zion can slither through tight spaces to reach the rim. Even when defenders successfully challenge him at the rim, he's ready to leap again for the offensive rebound, allowing him to finish his own misses. While he's heavily left-hand dominant, he's more than capable of going right. He'll drive baseline when defenders guard his left hand, then position himself under the basket to shoot over multiple defenders. His hang time allows him to adjust his shot mid-air, avoiding shot blockers. When defenders try to force him right, Zion uses an in-and-out move to get them on their heels before finishing with his left hand. Impressively, he can also cross over the best defenders and launch himself into the big men for a tough finish. That type of origin story and athleticism usually leads to glory and sports immortality, but Zion Williamson's future with the Pelicans is anything but certain. While Zion's physical potential was obvious coming out of college, injuries have unfortunately become a dominant narrative of his career. The 2022-23 campaign continued that trend. After missing the entire 2021-22 season, Zion got off to a solid start. He made his debut in October 19th, 2022, and played 25 of the first 30 games until December 19th. Then, things got messy. He missed 3 games and returned for another 4, but after playing 28 minutes on January 2nd, 2023, Zion disappeared from the court again. A hamstring strain sidelined him, and he was only able to play 29 games. Then, some critics have pointed out his struggles with eating healthy and staying in shape. Adding to the complications, the Pelicans included a clause in his $231 million contract that penalizes him if his weight and fat percentage add up to more than 133 kilograms. Once again, highlights concerns about his health and fitness. Fans and analysts alike have questioned his durability and whether his potential can truly be realized with such a sparse playing record. The Pelicans' primary challenge revolved around figuring out if Williamson would truly benefit from tactical adjustments on the court, or if the primary issue stemmed from his own motivation, which at times seemed lacking. What makes the situation that much more frustrating is the fact that he has sprinkled in games here and there where he looks active and engaged and has produced incredible stats. The Pelicans seem almost powerless in regards to when Williamson hits the day and when he doesn't. But to be fair, the 2024 season marked a high point with Zion hitting a career-best 61 games played as the Pelicans made a comeback. Since early 2024, Williamson has transformed the Pelicans' offense with his improved fitness, taking on the role of the point man. When Zion commands the ball, defenders must stay on high alert, creating openings for his teammates. His game isn't about flashy passes, it's about making the right decisions that keep opponents guessing and defenses scrambling. The only questions that remained were about his ability to stay healthy and sustain this level of performance. So when the Pelicans stepped on the court for a play-in game, fans were curious to see what he could pull off, and Zion didn't disappoint, at least not at first. The Pelicans superstar made his long-awaited postseason debut, facing off against the Los Angeles Lakers in a high-stakes play-in tournament showdown. It was a stark contrast to their previous encounters under the bright lights. Despite facing off against the daunting duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Zion Williamson took center stage with an electrifying display. He racked up an impressive 40 points, snatched 11 rebounds, and dished out 5 assists in a mere 36 minutes of gameplay, orchestrating a stunning turnaround from an 18-point deficit. But with only 3:13 remaining in the fourth quarter, disaster struck as Zion clutched his left leg in pain after scoring his 40th point with a graceful floater over Davis. As soon as he landed, Williamson sensed trouble. He quickly signaled to the bench, eager to exit the game, and after a brief discussion with a Pelicans staffer, he threw a towel in frustration and stormed off to the locker room. The injury cut short his performance, leading to the Lakers' narrow 110-106 victory. This defeat also pushed the Pelicans down to the number 8 seed in the Western Conference, lining up a tough first-round showdown against the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets. Zion's dramatic exit from the court left fans and teammates in suspense, marking a bittersweet end to his heroic effort. His final bucket, a powerful floater that tied the game at 95, earned thunderous applause from the roaring crowd at the Smoothie King Center, highlighting his dominance against elite defenders like Davis. But as he limped off, the atmosphere in the arena shifted from hope to despair, joy to disappointment. Had Williamson been able to lead his team to a comeback victory on this crucial night, it would have been his most heroic performance yet. His dominance on the court could have etched this game into franchise history as one of the most memorable. Instead, the evening concluded with another painful home loss and yet another mysterious injury for a player familiar with setbacks. So, do you believe Zion will ever live up to the hype and realize his full potential?